They are in. Looks like Turbi
Oh!
is taking his time selecting the team. Even though it's one team, that's nice mental pressure that is coming in at the moment.
Big yikes. Okay, so we do see that actually the points are rolling in here, Saga. Welsh is actually up to 34k. Derby's up to 27k respectively. There's a lot of good stuff here.
Well, all it took was you bidding 4k and people just followed you. Maybe you should be the betting leader, you know, of a community. People are following your bets blindly.
Look, all I'm saying is people might want to wait on that until they see what actually happens.
Turbi just got bonked, dude. 70k points on Turbi now.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, no, that's some good stuff there. Looking at Turbi's actual team once again, I do really enjoy what I'm seeing here. These are a lot of fantastic stall options. 𝗂𝗏, of course, has access to Stonewall and Willpower Drain, some really powerful moves there. As I said before, and we'll say again, Saga, 𝗬𝗵𝗶 have slowdown now. And horror.
I would go to sleep if I see 𝗬𝗶𝗆 in real life. You don't even need to slow me down, dude.
Oh man, all I'm saying is, how can you be mean to our scoliosis boy like that? That's just cruel to a person who's suffering to such a degree. But
well, thank you for that information. Looks like Welsh did not know that, but now he does apparently.
Oh boy.
𝗂𝗏 got purgation as well, from what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
I don't believe 𝗂𝗏 got purgation. You know what? I'll go ahead and double check that for you. Here, let me just get up the old purgation window here. I don't believe 𝗂𝗏 is one of the Tems that did. No, it is not. 𝗂𝗏 got psychosis is what it got. If you
psychosis. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
So that's another Doom option there, if you were wondering.
So he has double Doomers in his team. He is starting with the Kinu. Welsh.
Double Doomers.
Doomers.
I mean, I was gonna say it's like more than double there, sir. We got Cycrox. Don't forget that 𝗵𝗶𝗆 has Doom as well.
Oh yeah, Digithreat, you're right. Water Chromion with the 𝗧𝗲𝗺 to begin with.
Okay, this is a very powerful opener from Welsh in terms of just solid damage. If nothing else, harmful microwaves into wastewater does a lot of damage to a lot of different things on Turbi's team. And the option of a Synergy Water Cannon, even without Synertyper, is still pretty powerful as well. Kinu 𝗂𝗏, however, immediately getting in there with the buffs, and this is potentially Gravelbag Soil Steam. I have no, there's actually a couple ways you can run 𝗂𝗏 at the moment, so I'm very curious to see what Turbi's doing with this. This is actually the first time I think we've had the pleasure of seeing this team in draft.
I'm actually kind of surprised, because isn't Water Cannon just good against 𝗂𝗏? Unless it's Pigment Inverter. But there's no reason why it would be a Pigment Inverter, right? I think it is Synertyper, but I'm not 100% sure here.
Well, remember, if you're throwing that into there, then you have to remember that, you know, 𝗵𝗆s could just be coming into that spot. As could 𝗬𝗏𝗺. And 𝗬𝗏𝗺, incidentally, which did not get banned, eats both the wastewater and the lava wave. Well, okay, it doesn't eat the lava wave particularly effectively from 𝗧𝗏𝗺, but it eats the wastewater super easy if you're trying to cover a water cannon wastewater into Turbi's 𝗂𝗏, right?
You're actually right. If he does that, then that checks out, to be honest. But if he doesn't pick it at all, then I'm wondering what would be the swap here. Adoro looks like a swap, to be honest. Other than that, everything else is kind of taking good damage there from a water cannon.
Well, after how well the 𝗵𝗆s did in Swiss, it looks like it's time for all the other Tems on Turbi's team to shine. I'm very interested in seeing how this mental core returns. This looks very similar to what Turbi ran in 𝗬𝗵𝗆 back when he was able to make that Protector Kinu work to the degree that it did. So I'm pleased to see him back in good form in terms of this. We will, of course, be seeing Whip Chromion onto the 𝗧𝗏𝗺. So that 𝗧𝗏𝗺 is going at pretty high octane speeds right there.
Mom's Lunch is a really good item. I think it was getting overshadowed this patch because everyone has been focusing on all aggressive items or all buffing items, trying to bait around and stuff. But I think Mom's Lunch is still a good classic item to burn out of stamina.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. Hey, I try to make pyramids where I can, you know? Like everybody's getting into it. Still though, an important thing to bear in mind here is the fact that the lunch is going to be some pretty rough things for any offensive team's stamina rotations, which is an important thing to bear in mind here. I expect the water cannon to still go into Karin because you kind of get a call that, and it looks like it's gonna be the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗵 instead, as we see that the guys hop in there. Is the Karin gonna be swapping as well? We see 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗺 the 𝗃𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗺 there, great little nickname, as the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗺 water cannon will unfortunately not do very much damage to 𝗧𝗲𝗺 at all, as both swaps are whiffed. Oh, sorry, both attacks are whiffed.
Well, the thing is, if he attacked the other slot, that would have been terrible. Actually, he did. It was the bait, right? It was the bait that they took it around. Yeah, I just realized it was the bait. So Karin did avoid that with the bait, but this time it was
no bait. Yep. Man, this bait keeps catching me off guard. I mean, it's like what the 𝗬𝗎𝗺 counters were last time. Thank you, J Dragon, for succeeding where I failed incidentally. Well done with the pyramid.
Pyramid stonks.
Hell yes. This is what we like to see. Speaking of what we like to see, yeah, no, the water cannon landing on 𝗧𝗲𝗺 there, really, really powerful stuff in terms of bait once again. Just big spooks. So what we have to wonder now is whether this Karin is going to be staying on the field in the face of two water users, because Turbi is expecting swaps once again. And it looks like it is not, meaning that Welsh is able to get that hedging in there pretty effectively. Is this going to be a cycle ahead with these two? Normally I wouldn't be saying such things, but you know, we've had all sorts as a result of this. The harmful microwaves, however, will be landing on 𝗧𝗲𝗺 as the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 lands out instead. A much more conventional move, despite my desire for some real crazy shit.
I mean, this meta is really unpredictable at the moment. Anyone can bring anything and you can not guess or second guess what can be coming next turn, you know. Sometimes you don't even know if 𝗧𝗵𝗃 got a new move and you're not up to date yet. Like, if I jump in blindly on ladder, I am still gonna be surprised by 𝗧𝗵𝗃 for sure, because I don't, you know, have my 100% research done here. Like, 𝗃𝗃𝗃 would definitely surprise me if it has that with the move that you mentioned earlier.
Oh, what? Slow down horror? I think it's good. I don't even think it's bad, Saga.
Yeah.
Like, getting that kind of sleep control and a thick Tem like 𝗃𝗃𝗃, and then the powerful horror on top of that. 165 base power, I'll remind people. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it actually means 𝗃𝗃𝗃 does damage, and really heavily, by the way.
I mean, let's not forget that 𝗃𝗃𝗃 still has those, like, thunder strikes and things. This is good stuff.
That is true.
Still though, what we're gonna see is 𝗃𝗃𝗃 hitting the field right now. Another question I have is this hedging a hook hedging? Did it proc going, gotta go fast, by the way?
I didn't notice, but I think it was not gotta go fast.
If it is not gotta go fast, then we need to be aware that this thing could start hooking at the earliest opportunity, meaning big slingshot energy coming in here. Another thing we have to be aware of is that this water cannon, thanks to 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, could just bop this 𝗃𝗃𝗃 real good. Guys, it's a normal donut emote. I don't know why you guys are being so weird about this.
Yeah, it's just a donut, dudes.
Yeah, it's just, you know, some people just, their minds get very carried away.
It's a donut.
Hello and welcome, 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, to this, the semi-finals of the Arbury Showoff tournament, as we're getting into the next round here. Great to see you with us. Happy to have you. As Keenan will be swapping in again for the mom's lunch this round, as the harmful microwaves will be coming down again. Welsh Leprechaun just trying to get some good damage in here. The 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 did not overexert, but it sure will this time. Oh my god. A single bop onto this thing and it's going down, and a single bop it gets.
I mean, there is so many swaps happening on Turbi's side. He's really, you know, nullifying as much damage as he can while still doing damage on the other side. And as you can see, Welsh is slowly losing Tems out while Turbi is just, you know, mitigating, or what's the correct word?
Mitigating.
Mitigating the damage that is going its way. while still
While
getting
you're
the
not,
kills.
while you're not wrong there, the concern I've got is there's this 𝗧𝗵𝗽 in the back that can just eat that Corrin, and that's the one that hasn't taken damage yet. There are still like Turbi. I think if the 𝗧𝗍𝗽 goes down, Turbi's in a great spot. Likewise, if the Grumper is allowed to live and match into the 𝗧𝗍𝗽s, that's basically a death sentence for Welsh. There's some different things that are going to be happening here. But as it stands, I think Turbi still has a fair few outs he can play to. We see the 2-wire return to the field here. I think this is the first time we've seen this 2-wire, as the common factor will be hopping into this.
Oh, this is gonna hurt because of the neutrality. But not that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Adoro is known for its special defense, but the 𝗵𝗶𝗆 will still be smacking in on that 2-wire there. You know, it's something, and what this also is a Faraday cage capable of landing in on other stuff. I do feel like Turbi is spending a lot of time trying to rearrange his position rather than hit Welsh, which is very problematic when you're playing into this in this way. We have yet to see Welsh really ball out of control in terms of buffs, which does still suggest that this is in fact a like 𝗏𝗨 that doesn't necessarily mess around with that, but we'll have to see how things go.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be rough. But if you think about it, do you think 2-wire even gets to attack? Do we still have the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 online? Sadly, we do not have a counter yet, and we are not keeping track of it. But the bug was fixed, right? When the Naga comes in, that doesn't count anymore, right?
It does not count anymore. I believe we've had 2 turns thus far. This will be the 3rd turn, I believe.
In that scenario, well,
I mean, 2-wire is not known as the fastest tab. It very much depends on how much speed.
This is not the 𝗧𝗵𝗺, because last turn Hajin went first.
Oh, of course, right. Sorry, this is Welsh Leprechaun's 𝗧𝗍𝗽s. You rused me for a second there, Saga.
Yeah, I was just checking, and then I realized that this is Welsh we are watching, who is known for Water Custodian.
Yeah, no, he runs Water Custodian. That's like his thing. As we will be seeing this Hypnosis land in on this 2-wire instead, and the Tornado does still outspeed it. Man,
I got you.
I just kind of autopiloted into that sentence. I feel embarrassed now. Man. Still,
and I'm the one who initiated that, so I do feel the same.
And sometimes you just gotta roll with it. As it stands, Welsh Leprechaun still in a position that I don't actually think is excessively bad here, as the 𝗧𝗍𝗽s is still capable of pivoting in and out of danger. We have a great Hellfire turn here, as this Adoro is absolutely going down. The Corrin is going to be taking some burn. They're counting Water Custodian turns.
It happens, okay? We humans.
Oh no.
There's so much deceptive stuff going on here, we just failed on it. We forgot.
It's alright. I've missed almost every bait that's come out so far when I've cast. It's clear that I need to like get my head in the game. Still though, as we continue into this, we see both Earths up against both fires here. This is a disadvantageous board for Welsh, if we say the least.
That is so true.
Oh no. Welsh in chat asking, Corrin didn't get Rockfall or some shit, right? I mean, it did get Earthbreaker. Does that count? Still got Soil Steam. Oh man.
Well, yeah, Potter did just admit that he's not a master baiter in terms of keeping a track of baiting or baits.
Big yikes. I mean, you gotta call me out like that. Sure, I'll cop to it.
It was in chat. It was healthier calling you out, dude. It's another streamer
fair.
just calling out.
Fair. I'll take it. Still though, as we're looking at this, the big problem with Welsh is he doesn't really have any swaps outside of 𝗧𝗍𝗽s, which is very low for the earth damage that Turbi has. So he has to like focus fire into the Corrin slot here, because Grumper of course has less damage that it can do on the earth side. It'll still like just eviscerate 𝗏𝗨𝗺, but you know, you can try against it. Instead we see Welsh go for the Grumper here, which is more capable of taking that in a lot of ways. Even after everything else, it's still at 6.3%. The Stonewall comes in onto Corrin as well. Double Stonewall, yo!
That is stacked. that Corrin is stacked at the moment.
So there it is.
Well, that Corrin can easily kill, well, Hejin, Drakash, and most likely 𝗧𝗵𝗺 as well, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Like, 𝗧𝗵𝗺 doesn't really have many things to play into that either. The Hellfire is coming out there, and unfortunately the 𝗃𝗃, you know, it goes down now, but man, you would have loved to see that go down earlier. Not close to 10%. After Scavenger, it's right back to full. It's like that Hellfire never happened in Saga. Oh, God.
Yeah. It's tickling the Corrin now. It's all about tickling the Corrin because you can't really do much. Kinu comes in.
You know, after what was said in the last little interlude about chat, I'm surprised that you would bring up the verb tickle so readily. But, yeah, no, I guess you just hit everything that isn't Corrin now.
Sacrifice is a thing now if he wants to do it on Corrin to remove that exhaust.
No, that's diminishing returns. There's no reason for Turbi to do that on Corrin right now. You just revitalize. That's all you do, right? +5, +3. You don't need that extra special defense there, Turbi.
I mean, do you
think... can't keep getting away with this.
I mean, all the 3 attackers are plus special attackers, you know, so +5 special defense won't hurt. Actually, Hejin is gonna go first.
𝗧𝗵𝗺's a physical attacker. What are you talking about?
Ah, that's true. Fair enough.
Not that 𝗧𝗵𝗺's really doing anything against this Corrin. Earth walls Corrin very... Oh, I mean, unless a 2-wire shows up, that means it doesn't. You know, that +5 defense was still really good.
I wonder if there was a move that would basically let you steal stats from your opponent's Tem and put it on one of your Tem on the field.
Well, some people have talked about that being one of the reworks of Bait, but hey, remember that psychosis that we were talking about there? Well, you'll never guess what it is that Turbi clicked.
Well, that psychosis is not gonna age well, I guess.
No, listen, this is literally just to show off that he has this because he knows that Welsh is not in a position where he can contest this victory. Now, I'm loath to call this BMing because I think this is more Turbi just kind of showing off the fact that he's in a very good position. You get what I mean?
His next opponent will take that in notice, I guess.
Yep, nope, it's always information to take into account, but it is big and spooky nonetheless. And definitely something that I would warn people to be aware of when it comes to Corrin these days.
All these scavengers waiting for him to be picked, all these low HPs. This Kinu putting so much pressure, just mom's launching these things every other turn. Not anymore after this, but...
Nah, as it stands, my big question here is how is Welsh going to deal with the scavenger Corrin? There's very little I can see Welsh really able to do in terms of this. And man, it's just kind of it's once again just very spooky looking in terms of. Like, I don't really see a way for Welsh to get out of this. Really, what I'm getting at. Like now that we got 2 stone walls up on Corrin, a scavenger Tem, it's like well then. As Malzahn says in chat, this game was over 5 turns ago. I want to believe, but I don't believe.
I would rather go washroom and come back, I guess, because this is gonna be a while. Scavenger is just gonna pick everything up, so I'll just be back in a minute or 2. Water.
Jeez, you know it's our job to still cast this, right?
I don't have a bucket with me.
Yikes! I mean, no, you do what you gotta, man. I'll keep the chat entertained.
Next time I'll keep a bottle with me if you want. I'll be back
Big
in a minute.
Yikes! I mean, as long as you mute first, I mean, you do you. Okay, right, folks. While Saga's off attending to himself, seeing a man about a euphemism, what we can certainly say here is that, as is previously mentioned, Turbi's in a pretty good position here. If Welsh is to try to bring this back, one of the things that we need to try to get around here is just like, first off, focusing the Kinu down to make sure Corrin doesn't get any more healing, right? And then just trying to like stamina it down since it's exhausted. Now, Turbi's going to know that, and he's going to play around it, but just, oof. I don't see very many ways for this to be an interactable victory for Welsh here, outside of just, like, abusing this Hedgeon at the moment, which is indeed what's happening. We do see the burns go off. We see the Scavenger, unfortunately, go off as well. And, oh man, Lulu talking about the fact that Welsh can win if Rat is Psychosis. That is, I think, the one move that I don't expect anybody to be running on 𝗧𝗵, unfortunately, but it would certainly win in this scenario. Except for the fact that I think Corrin can probably take down the guys at this HP in as many turns, because this is a Water Custodian to guys.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
This guy's a professional.
Yeah, no, who would have expected it? you know how it goes here. But look, all I'm saying is, even if the battles are hardcore and we gotta scug it, you know, the show must go on. And in this instance, what we gotta talk about is precisely what Welsh could possibly try to do to begin to bring this back. And the first thing was killing that Kinu, which happened. The problem is this guys is on 27%, which...
Do you think 𝗧𝗵 has Psychosis?
Yeah, no, that was brought up in chat, and my answer is I don't believe that it has Psychosis there, Saga. I don't believe that people run Psychosis on Rat. And unfortunately, with Nagai's Fury doing under 30%, that's, yeah, to use a couple word responses to this turn.
He's definitely shy, guys.
You know, sometimes you just gotta retreat into 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗴 when you see how much damage a Stone Ball does after the amount of damage that that guy's Fury does.
66
Truth is,
to 61. Nice.
Sadly, we're watching the tide crash against an ocean, against a mountain here, as sadly, all Welsh can do is try to take turn by bloody turn and not give Corrin another Scavenger buff.
Yep, the moment it got a Scavenger, he's just gonna... Well,
this is the thing, like, there's so much momentum that Welsh has to do here. Like, Welsh has to work so hard to begin to bring this back, and Turbi's just like, yeah, I'm gonna click a move, I'm chill. Oh, uncanny luck, you're right, Tem advantage exists, but like, oh boy. Like, if we're pressing X here, we'll see the HP differential still absolutely favors Turbi.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy. The energy manipulation, however, is something that I do think will help here. If we can see this Corrin overexert, that could actually work. Oh man. The willpower drain, however, does come out, and it stops this Corrin from actually getting into the haggard zone here, as it's right back up to 90 stamina after that.
Don't you think he can just kill? Why would he have to do the willpower drain?
Well, let's face it here. Turbi has 13 turns to win here, and all he has to do is kill this Nagais, which admittedly is slightly harder than anything else here. You know, Welsh could still have this if this sort of rotation still happens here. The real thing is that Corrin, as we said, cannot be allowed to get a kill, but losing all that HP on the guys was agonizing. No! Corrin does have Stone Ball. We did see that it has Stone Ball, but
So Stone Ball was redirected to the Rat the first time.
No,
as a bait,
the Rat has... Oh, wait, the Rat has bait? I thought it had a whip. No, it is a bait Rat.
Again.
No, you're right, the Chromion has what?
We got him again.
Man, I keep missing these baits. It's just like instinctive at this point.
Trust me, one day you will be the master baiter.
You know, I hope to get there one day. I truly have to practice, right? I got to get some hands-on experience, if you will. But in the meantime, yes, thank you. Wastewater needs to keep happening here, but the problem is this 𝗧𝗵 has like no actual stamina to speak of. Like, Leprechaun's in such a frustrating corner here. As Welsh is saying in chat, this is still a really, like, it's a hard loss to swallow, but it is a loss. We've dragged it out, but it is what it is. We see the toxin shower go down gracefully as the scavenger procs, and all that work is gone.
Well. Looks like we are at the end of the match.
Oh man, here we stand at the end of things after this great journey, Saga. How does it feel knowing we have at least one more of these to go?
Hopefully it doesn't go this tanky.
I mean,
slow, but it was still good. I mean, Turbi played really well. I was talking earlier where Turbi was not doing much damage, but still, just the swaps and I can't spell that word. Just taking reduced damage or resistance damage is just something that worked out for him so well, while Welsh was overexerting turn after turn to get a kill.
Yep, absolutely. That was some pretty hardcore stuff. Still though, we have another, at least one more game between Turbi and Welsh. Welsh is going to need to take everything that he learned from that game and bring it forward.
Hopefully he can get that thing going, and he does have his notes now from the last time. He knows where the bait is. You know where the bait is, Quarter. This time I expect you to do it. I believe in you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's on the Aduro on one side and on the Rat on the other. We got that first turn. That's as some of the people might say derogatorily, a best of one item. So we, as casters, now know where it is. We can then use that forward from here on out.
Yes, I will wait for your call out about the bait. Let us see how this goes.
Thank you for shining such a spotlight on it.
You will be shining, dude. You will. By the time you get in finals, you should be calling those baits.
Well, the thing is, Saga, it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. You could have the bait. Like, it could literally be on any of these Tems, right? Like, between team to team, like, any Tem can just have bait on it for lulz.
Yeah, but
I was literally talking with people about mix bait earlier today to try to, like, see if you could cheese Puppet Master onto it. You can do all sorts of stupid things with bait.
Yeah, I just meant that when the bait is procced, you need to know, you need to call it out. Okay, the bait was procced, because you miss out.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. Speaking of which, the bait got banned. Does that count? Because the bait did get banned.
That's one less for you.
Hey, there we go. 𝗬𝗏 got banned on Welsh's side as well. No Water Chromion for him. That's actually pretty important for stopping Corrin from balling out of control last time, as we saw as well. But that does mean that double Nature Coish is actually something that Welsh has if he wants to proceed with that instead.
Okay, check this out, dude. If you look at double Nature Coish right now, that Corrin is gone, Naga is gone, Grumper cannot come in. Those double Nature Coishes are actually looking disgusting to begin with, but he looks like he's going with Nature Coish and 𝗧𝗲𝗺, which is almost equally damaging if I'm not wrong, because it has the toxic damage as well. Water damage as well.
The score is 1-0 for Turbi there, Rishi. As I'm not sure I agree with this. I understand that 𝗧𝗲𝗺's great and all, but you still have the 𝗬𝗶𝗰 as another wastewater option. I guess it's one that still takes damage from Digi Threat, though, is the problem. We will be seeing the Cycrox hit the stage instead here, which is different there, yeah, and definitely kind of concerning for things like the Coish that'll take 4 times from it, and everything else that's going to get doomed by it. As, nope, the Cycrox is going to come out there, and we will be seeing the Nagais get banned out second from Welsh right here. So, meanwhile, Turbi is going to be picking out what they wind up banning instead, as it's going to be some pretty good stuff right there. Oh, no.
Dude, Cycrox is coming in and...
People can be so cruel.
Cycrox is gonna be... Cycrox can be a problem, to be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem, especially now the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗴's been banned out as well. This means that the electric pressure is not there. So it's going to be some pretty frustrating stuff.
Well, Hejin is there at least to, well, keep it in check, but still it's gonna be a problem.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, the problem is Hejin, I don't think has the sustain to do what we're really talking about right here. But, you know, I'm not going to say it's over until it's over. And it would be very remiss of me to, like, dismiss a game before it's played through. And, honestly, Welsh still has a couple of very strong options here. 𝗵𝗵 never got banned, Saga. We have double 𝗂𝘀𝗶𝗆, meaning that, like, 𝗬𝗵 cannot rely on the same tools as before. We also still have a lot of fire options that are very strong into 𝗵𝗵s. So we actually have a lot of separate, really strong things available.
𝗵𝗵s is actually, it could be a good pick, but I think 𝗃𝗀 is better to reset the typings if required. But again, Turbi kind of has good typing, but the problem is if the nature 𝗂𝘀𝗃 and 𝗵𝗵 are still alive while 𝗁𝗏 and 𝗃𝗏 are the only ones on the other side, they can absolutely smash.
Yeah, we do not see a 𝗵𝗵s in here today, as instead, looking at this, it does look like 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃 is the raid boss of choice. This explains why he immediately went Kiinu 𝗧𝗏𝗃. It resists both of the immediate offenses that are there. It means that only our oh, did you get caught out again?
Yeah, updated it. I can't be the master titler, dude. Just like you can't be a master beta yet. We are just trying.
Oh no! Listen, it's fun. It's fun. I love it when we get a good bit of scuff in tournaments. It's what makes the Temtem scene what it is. Just embrace the lack of it, right? No, I hate Tuesday. That is most assuredly a neurotoxin 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃. That is more 𝗧𝗏𝗃 than anything else.
Imagine stacking up all the viewers and then suddenly announcing that you will be participating in Squid Games. Time to die.
Ooh,
and all the numbers you posted is your number now.
That'd be a pretty spooky thing there, Saga, but not as spooky as Welsh trying to deal with Turbi's latest conundrum. Definitely going to be some frightening stuff right there. Man.
Do you think Welsh actually goes for swaps here, or is he going to play it passive?
I think you have to swap out 𝗂𝘀. There's no way you keep 𝗂𝘀 in here. Actually, no way you keep in 𝗂𝘀. Like, if you keep in 𝗂𝘀 here, that's just like rolling over. The neurotoxins is coming there 100%. But no, Welsh doesn't. He actually brings in the water cutting lily into the 𝗃𝗃 spot instead, as the wastewater will be coming in onto that spot as well, just for that little bit of extra damage. I expect there to just be a wastewater onto the 𝗂𝘀, but it's not there. I'm kind of astonished that Turbi didn't punish that, but instead we do see that that's also a water synth, as people talked about in chat, and not a neurotoxin.
Quarter, you had one thing to do, Quarter. It was a bait, Quarter. I was waiting for you.
Oh, dang it. The bait rat again. I knew where it was, too.
But you fell for it, dude. Again.
Look, I'm not used to this item, Saga. I'm really not. Everybody forgets about the bait. I forgot about the bait. Turbi forgot about the bait. Like, this is just some pretty hardcore stuff.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, I'm watching this and you're speaking so nicely. Like, you're so confused. Why would Turbi attack the hazard? And I'm just laughing inside. And then I'm like,
you're just like, bait, bruh. Great bait, mate. And I'm like, no. I got.
Bait is such a good item. It doesn't simply get your opponent, but the caster as well.
It really does, though. It takes a lot of getting used to. I'm so used to being able to understand what's going on there, and then suddenly, you know, having to remember that gear will just turn a round on its head, just completely like throws this for a loop. As we see the hypnosis comes down there, which, you know, stalls out the 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃, but the stonewall is on there now, and remember that is the best Tem resistance-wise into what Welsh has that Turbi possesses, right?
That is true. I mean, now it is pretty clear why the 𝗂𝘀𝗃 did not go away, because the bait was there. And Welsh just knew
for sure. No, the bait being on the Hazrat means that, yeah, no, that 𝗂𝘀 was safe the whole time. We got rused. I got rused. Despite knowing where it was and saying where it was in draft, I got rused.
Sometimes heat up again.
Look, you just got to take the L on that sometimes. Oh man, heating up here would be pretty hype, because I think the Grumper just dies to Water Cutting Lily. And yeah, it just seems like a pretty powerful play right there. The Mimit is going to be coming in here as we see the double Water Cutting Lily come out. If this is some aloe vera action as well, that's some fantastic stuff right there. As the Kinu is coming in to help our Grumper out as well.
And I had another question. That Cycrox is actually water synthesizer, dude.
Yeah, no, it is water synthesizer. We saw that the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 didn't get neurotoxin. That's why I said it was that there. So that's pretty hardcore as well.
Stonewall is up on Kino right now this turn, and I don't think anything can stop that from happening again on that Cycrox.
Really, all you can do is throw damage into it instead. Or alternately just throw damage into the Kinu. I don't think that these two 𝗂𝘀𝗃 are going to be able to hit that hard enough, which is rather the unfortunate thing here. Turbi, once again, really taking advantage of what the board states have become. And once again, just making sure that the Cycrox is always in a position where it can keep getting buffed, keep dooming the opponent, right? Because Digi-Threat is also up this turn.
That is true.
And sadly, that bait only happens once. And Contagious does nothing against Cycrox.
Rainbow Guard.
With that, though, despite the ruse that we see here in terms of the Rainbow Guard, we do see another Stonewall come down, but this time it's on the Corrin, which was able to hop in. Man, all I can think of here when I look at these is imagine what would have happened if Welsh Leprechaun had clicked red circles there.
Would have been better, but 𝗧𝗵𝗺 Contagious again doing some work in terms of poison takes by stuff going around left and right. We have Cycrox coming in again as well.
Yes, indeed we do.
Another Stonewall is what I'm thinking of.
Yep, Corrin has it as well, and it's a pretty powerful tool. Definitely one we can expect there, but the Hypnosis is going to stop this Corrin in its tracks. And whatever item Cycrox has. Do we know what item Cycrox has yet? I think it's double screen, right?
It is most likely double screen should have procced by now, right?
No,
it got attacked by 𝗂𝘀𝗃 as well.
It could be Reactive Vial then. We haven't seen Reactive Vial on Turbi's team. That's
true.
Another thing we regularly see on this. But, man, instead what we can see here is Welsh actually in a reasonable... Okay, I do say a reasonable position, and I stand by that. You can Hypnosis... No. We just Hypnosis Corrin. You can Rainbow Guard this turn, potentially. I don't know if you just throw damage into Cycrox, because that's kind of admitting defeat on 𝗂𝘀𝗃. 𝗧𝗵𝗺's kind of out of position again, cannot do very much into a lot of these boards. It's mainly there, oddly, as a defensive item and a way to, like, throw damage in on their opponents.
I'm actually starting to wonder. Until yesterday, I was kind of complaining that I was personally thinking that 𝗵𝗂𝗽 might be really broken, Slingshot might be really broken, but after seeing this tournament, I am, kind of getting an insight that there is still a lot more than those that can still impact a lot of stuff. Like reset is really a good thing, and all these buffs being done while the game is still being a bit slow paced right now. I still think that maybe 𝗃𝗏 should give us another week, maybe week or a week and a half or something before, they jump into conclusions of nerfing something, because they might overkill a lot, While we can implement changes in the tournaments to make sure that there is fairness, I guess, because a lot of people hate on some items right now. Sometimes it's... Yeah,
see, that's a hard thing to throw in right now, but like, there's a lot of different things to take into account as we look at these games. I mean, just inside this particular tournament, we've seen Slingshot and the sheer power that brings to literally every game. We've seen bait, which turns otherwise predictable moves and turns on their head, entirely shifting the course of games. Let's face it, Turbi would have actually won by now, probably, if that 𝗂𝗀 had just gone down there. Granted, that you can also argue that impacts Welsh's decision-making, but we're just getting into semantics at that point. The combination of those two things is, like, you know, we can't deny that those are impacting the way that people play, because they're tools that we have to play with. The point that people are making is that a lot of those tools are hard to play against, but hard to interact with effectively unless you are aware that they're there.
That is true.
And that's rather where a lot of this is coming into its own. We do see, however, this stone ball is going to just bop this 𝗧𝗵𝗺 now. As regardless of great bait or not, this fantastic combination of things means that this Corrin and this Cycrox have had some pretty strong buffs on it. We still have the Kinu as well in the back. We still have the ability of Cycrox to swap in on some good water moves at any point inside this. There's a lot of ways for Turbi to maintain this strong position that he's in.
There is a lot of ways. I mean, it looks really unlikely for Turbi to fall down from where he is standing at the moment. Although still possible, but that Corrin, if it gets another stone wall, it is gonna be a problem because it will be...
All right. Saga.
Wait a second.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but take away the battle log for a sec.
That chameleon or something?
Yeah,
Wait,
no. This is the first time I've seen this bug before.
Yeah, I thought it was changing tails, but it just changed
Normally,
the colors.
Okay, this is still a nature 𝗂𝗀, people, but normally I expect that to default to the blue coloration, right? Because normally it's like, you know, the bug where it's like, oh, we're all water 𝗂𝗀, but we wear different skin. Now it's like, what? Why does this have fire 𝗂𝗀 skin?
Still dies.
Like, once again, I'm used to seeing this in terms of, like, you know, it turns blue. This is the first time I've ever seen it turn red. But yeah, that
They're
wastewater...
evolving, their DNA is expanding with the patches.
Clearly. It's just broken in a completely different way.
No, it doesn't live because of the color lineage. That's not how it works.
No, this is some pretty astonishing stuff. And in fairness, Welsh, I mean, I don't blame you if you're in chat listening. Like, this is a hard team to play against, and Turbi is Turbi excels when he's able to misdirect people in the ways that we've seen him do right now, right? He's very good at setting up threats, presenting things that you then feel like you need to attack, and then just throwing another threat at you from another direction. As Turbi will be advancing to our grand final.